I see all the ramps. These are all the young ramps or wild leeks. I love these things. They already have a good garlicky smell to them. Good morning, guys. I hope you're all well. I'm out in the woods on a blustery day to do some chopping, and I got two beautiful axes to do it. I got to finish bucking up this red oak that's been lying for, about 6 months now. And in the front here, I got a 3-pound plum Jersey on a custom racing style white oak handle. It runs about 29 inches. And then here in the back is the fabled Connecticut pattern, hovers right around 3 pounds on a 31-inch Killinger stick. Less talking, more chopping. Let's get at it. Patter, patter. A little wider there, I think. It's gotten hard sitting here. Let's give the Connie a try, huh? So this one sits right around 20 degrees, I believe. I remember it being a bit sticky, but not in the red oak. Last time I cut red oak, it cut just fine. So I'm rushing here and I'm getting a little sloppy. I hope you can see just how much energy you waste when you're not accurate. Definitely more sticky. Yeah. Just doesn't pop those chips as well. I had a video a while ago called the Connecticut pattern and why it sucks. It sucks because it's just sticky in most woods, and because it's so thin and long, it doesn't pop the chips. I mean, you see it side by side with the Jersey. Come on. So over the last year, I've really been focusing on my technique to raise the axe right over my nose, over my head, but not over my shoulders, and then bring it down using my whole body. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, but you have to make a funny face when you make contact with the wood or it doesn't count. Two really quick observations already. So this wider, flatter racing style handle is just more accurate. It is. This sharp point on the front just helps guide my cuts, and the slightly more meat on the Jersey pops the chips better. It just does. However, when I come across a knot, and I have twice, That's what the Connie's good for, getting under knots and getting through them. Gonna be easy, but we'll get it. There she goes. The Connie is the tool for the job. Otherwise, I find the Connie a bit sticky. Not as sticky as it is in maple, but sticky nonetheless. You can see I just have to force the Connie out of the cut occasionally, whereas the Jersey you can just bounce out of the cut. And that's the kind of axe I prefer for red oak because it's so chippy. Bust these guys apart, eh? One.
That's 2, 3, 3 bites to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
So here's something that's worth talking about. I'm almost through here, but not quite. The notch wasn't quite wide enough. Now I could remove some wood on one side or the other of this notch, but that's a lot of work, and so is just continually trying to bust through here with sheer force. So something I often do in a situation like this, and you do sacrifice the toe a bit, is just to come in here and take a slice out of the bottom, and then normally you can bust through. Let me see if I can demonstrate. Like that. And now normally just removing that amount of wood or that kerf will allow me to bust through this. Yep, there she is. So here you can get a better look at it. You can see the kerf I put in with the axe, which was almost acting as a relief cut to let this bust free. So while I take a little break here before I bust these rounds apart, a few comments on the axes. Now, as far as I'm concerned, a Jersey and a Connecticut pattern are basically the same axe. But these two axes, as they sit, are very different tools. They are. One on the racing handle, the Jersey on the racing handle, has a much fatter profile. And because of that, in this red oak, it's a much better bucking tool. The Connie, on the other hand, has a much thinner profile, and because of that, it's a much better tool to bust these rounds apart. Not the split, but to bust them apart. As far as splitting concerns, I can almost guarantee you the Jersey is going to win. Now, as far as the handle is concerned, I much prefer that racing style handle when bucking because it's so flat. And when it glances, and it does because it's chunky, it doesn't scoop or turn out of the cut. And if you were standing on a log, that's important. You don't want it to scoop and turn into your foot. Now, I'm rarely standing on the log, but a lot of you guys are, so take that into consideration. There's a reason those racing style handles are so flat and wide and have such a big palm swell. I don't think they're the greatest thing for felling or limbing, but for bucking, I prefer that, hands down, to any other style handle. A more traditional handle that's more oval shape is going to glance and turn into your foot. I'm going to chip a little off the side, I think. Then try to go for the middle. Let me go. I mean. Just go through and whack them first. Whatever doesn't bust, you can go back and set it up if you need to. That sound. Then after you walk through and you popped all the rounds, just go through, take literally 60 seconds, turn over the ones you want to bust in half and lie them up against the backing block, and then just walk through and bust them open. Done and dusted. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. It's getting a little blustery and my battery's dying. I enjoyed using both of these axes. Obviously, the Jersey outperformed the Connie. But when it comes to limbing or felling, the Connie probably would have the upper hand. But the main point of the cordwood challenge is just to get out there and learn how to use an axe and figure out for yourself what works and what doesn't, and ultimately to have fun. So have fun. Let me know in the doobly-doo below which one you guys like. See you on the next one.